Good evening. You're watching the main news on HKIBC. I'm Carain Yeung.
And I'm Raymond Yeung. Here are tonight's top stories. Government defense and opponents condemn Carrie Lam's 1,700-hectare artificial island project.
Chief Secretary says government did not ask PLA to clean up country parks and they had instead volunteered to help. An NGO suggests converting over 100 industrial buildings into transitional homes. Thousands took to the streets this afternoon to demand the government withdraw its 1,700-hectare artificial island project, which they argued was too costly and unnecessary. Police say 5,800 protesters took part in the rally to the government headquarters.
Say no to artificial island, protesters chanted as they took off from Causeway Bay after 3 p.m. Rally organizer Save Lantau Alliance was skeptical of the Lantau Tomorrow Vision initiative announced by Chief Executive Carrie Lam. Not only would it not deliver results in the near future, they said the plan should be scrapped.
The Hong Kong housing shortage problem is actually something is emergent. That means we need the land for within 10 years. But for the reclamation, you at least need 20 to 40 years to finish that, which is not suitable for the problem now.
The organizer said there were other land resources available, such as brownfield sites, which were not being fully utilized. The environmental impact brought about by reclamation was also a major concern. Many heeded the organizers' call and dressed in blue, symbolizing the ocean. The government is simply pouring our hard-earned money into the sea, this mother said. Officials won't care if the construction damages the environment, she added. Her 6-year-old son said he was worried the marine animals in the area would disappear. These protesters, who were concerned about the plan's hefty price tag, accused the chief executive of robbing public money. Some suggested the project could cost $1 trillion, calling the artificial island a white elephant project, which was expensive and not necessary. This man was unhappy the government was pouring money into the artificial island while ignoring calls for a universal pension scheme. Protesters also bashed the government for conducting what they called a fake consultation, as the artificial island scheme was 70% bigger than the option listed in the public consultation. The first batch of demonstrators arrived at government headquarters in Tamar and held a rally into the evening.
The government's massive artificial island project could cost as much as $1 trillion, and Financial Secretary Paul Chan has suggested issuing bonds to fund the project.
Meanwhile, Development Secretary Michael Wong says the project is a better option for land reclamation than Chan Guan-no, as it will improve infrastructure links.
Chief Executive Carrie Lam envisioned a 1,700-hectare artificial island near Lantau as a way to solve Hong Kong's housing shortage. But can the city afford it? In the absence of an official estimate, varying figures have been floated. Some have estimated that the project could cost as much as $1 trillion, which would be equivalent to the government's fiscal reserves. Today, Financial Secretary Paul Chan tried to allay concerns that the plan would exhaust the reserves. It's taking a lot of money, which is a fact, but we have to think about how to raise the money, Chan said. He said the development plan would have multiple projects, and the government may consider issuing bonds on those projects which are profitable. This will also provide a stable investment tool for the public, he added. The finance chief also floated other ideas to raise money, such as developing properties atop infrastructure. He believed this would produce lucrative land premiums to offset part of the island's construction costs. Chan urged the public not to only focus on cost, but also the income various projects could bring. Meanwhile, Development Secretary Michael Wong countered suggestions that Chan Guan-no was a better option for reclamation. He believed the artificial island would play an important part in improving the city's transport links.
further up north, Sunny Bay, and then Two Moon South. And you know that for Two Moon South, there are other plans ongoing, being understudied. From Carain to east, and basically the link goes back to Hong Kong Island, the northern side. And we are talking about a distance around 4 kilometers, short distance, very convenient driving. So that's an advantage of Carain that's unparalleled by choices such as Cheung Kwan O.
Wong said the authorities would further study the science so that the artificial island could withstand powerful typhoons. He believed reinforcing the island was unlikely to balloon the overall cost.
The task force on land supply was caught by surprise by Chief Executive Carrie Lam's 1,700-hectare artificial island proposal, according to member Jasper Zhang.
Zhang also suggested the government take back part of Fanling Golf Course to develop public housing. Raymond Yeung reports.
The task force on land supply was appointed by the government to conduct a consultation on how Hong Kong should solve its land shortage. But even before submitting their findings, which was due later this year, Chief Executive Carrie Lam announced the Land Town Tomorrow Vision project in her policy address on Wednesday. The ambitious plan involves reclaiming 1,700 hectares of land off the eastern waters of Land Town. That's 70% larger than the one proposed by the task force. The artificial island plan was only one of 18 options in the consultation. Task force member Jasper Zhang said the group was kept in the dark all along. Our vision is to launch a debate and lay out all choices for the public, Zhang said. The former Legislative Council